All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Martha Alter Hines, and I am here today with Kelly Kolodney. I'm not sure that Kelly needs much introduction, but for anybody who happens to not be familiar with Kelly, you're also known as the Angel Lady, right? And yeah.
I come up on people's phones as the angel lady, and it makes
Oh,
me laugh. But people have typed me in as that, so it's a
really?
running joke. Yeah.
Got it. That's really funny. Yes. So, among other things, you channel Angel Raphael and you just have, again, I don't feel like people really need me to explain who you are because they probably already know who you are. But yes, you're just one of what's happening in my world is that this web of beautiful souls is suddenly just emerging. I don't know, it's almost like emerging from the oceans or something, and this like golden web is just showing itself. And you're one of these golden people just popping up into my life, and it feels like yeah, this web has always been there, but suddenly it's needed, and so we're finding each other and coming together. And um, yeah, and so what we're going to be talking about today is I'm going to be asking Kelly to give us a little bit of a broad view of how you're being guided, Kelly, in this time and moving forward. And what I'm finding with these people in this web is that we are having the most uncanny, interesting overlaps in what is coming through from each of our guidance. Um, and like I was saying, and I often say it feels like there's an elephant, right? And the elephant is kind of what is going on. And then I will be shown a toe, and then you speak about a tail, and then someone else is, oh, there's an ear. And we're kind of, piecing the whole thing together. And I can speak for myself. I don't personally feel like I could say, oh, for sure, the elephant is this, and the human Martha, wouldn't be ethical for me to claim that I know the whole picture. But I do love, love, love it that you know, we seem to be finding each other, and the elephant that we're pointing to feels like it's the same elephant, which is really amazing. Like really beautiful.
It
Yeah,
really is. It's like a soul tribe of people coming together to share, to bring the fullness in for the collective right now. Yeah, it's so beautiful.
exactly. I know, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, and along those lines, for anyone who isn't aware, we are going to be having exactly precisely along these lines. We're going to be having a free event on December 5th. Kelly, me, David Clements, John Ryan, and Julia Balaz. So, I mean, literally, I'm shown this light grid coming together on that day, and very, very specifically that the five of us hold it, but it's meant for everybody, the world to I don't know, whatever is divinely choreographed to be happening in that event. But yeah, just FYI for everyone, please sign up for that. Um, yes. So Kelly, I would love, yeah, can we sort of take a step back, and I would love to hear a little more about how are you guided in this time? I know that you said you have 55 light codes that you are being guided to share in a very specific sequence. Can you just, yeah, tell us about that in general? And
Yeah, so the 55 light codes, came in a few years ago. And Raphael was incredibly specific that as we embody and really attune to each light code and the full body of work is assimilated within our energetic field, that would fully activate our light body, which was pretty amazing.
wow.
And so out of the 55, we're kind of at the halfway mark. We've done about 27 of them over the last coming years. And this year has been incredibly potent and important in that being 2025, it's a year of completion, a year of endings, but it's also leading us in, as you were saying earlier, into 2026, which is this beautiful time of rebirth. And so 2025 with the light codes was that we hit what was called the choice point between the organic and the artificial timeline, right around the spring equinox, when I know Heather Ensworth also speaks of, and this came through separately, the end of the Kali Yuga, and really like this incredible choice point. So we went through what was called the choice point light code, and worked with that in my community and made that really clear choice to align with the organic timeline. And then that brought us into what was called the galactic white horse light code, where we went up into the galactic core and we worked with 7 galactic frequencies, and they all came in, and we merged and we swirled and whirled together and activated and attuned to our star families. And then this beautiful white horse brought in Kalik. So he's the new avatar that brings in the golden age at the end of the Kali Yuga in the Vedic tradition. He's the one that comes in on the white horse, which I didn't realize that the galactic white horse light code. I had no idea the symbolic connection with that, which was amazing. So then that happened. And then we had the summer solstice where we did a lot of work with moving from the galactic core to the sun and the solar flares and the weaving of those two energies. Then we went delve deep into the primordial earth and worked with those waters and the flames and the energies that came up from Mount Shasta. And we worked with the violet flame light code. And there was a transition at that time as we went into the etheric cities between moving between the ascended masters that carry a very beautiful but very masculine energy, many of them, that at least the ones associated with the 7 rays. And there was sort of like a handing over to the goddesses, to this feminine energy. And those transmissions were pretty mind blowing. And then that opened the space for where we're entering now into what's called the sacred holy womb. And we will have 9 transmissions of them that start in like a week on October 27th. But what's interesting about that is that it's asking us to go into the dark. And I just got back from 3 days of being in complete darkness with like blackness,
Yeah.
because it's inviting us all to empty, empty, empty out, because we're all so busy, busy up to here with all the million billion things we all have to do and rushing, 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 that we're going to spend 3 weeks in the void, as you were talking about, in the pregnant void, in the emptiness, in the black light, where light conception happens, where we connect with the goddesses, where we open up spaciousness to heal our ancestral wounds and clear everything and move into presence so that we can give rise to what they're showing me is this. And of course, this energy of the sacred holy womb connects while three eye atlas is behind the sun.
Yes.
So it's in darkness to us, meaning we can't see it. Then we'll be in darkness in the emptiness in the womb. And then as it emerges and comes out, we'll move into what's called the divine feminine light code with Mary Magdalene and the bloodline and the connection with the Black Madonna, who will carry the creation empty dark space into the birth canal, where we will birth what they're showing, these 9 avatar qualities that will come online at the winter solstice, like giving birth to the avatar of our own self. We often talk about it as like the galactic baby, but it's our galactic origin of these qualities. And then when that comes online, then we have to embody them, like you were saying. Then we go from 2025, which is the 9, into 2026, which is 1, which is the beginning. And the light code in January is called death. I'm like, well, how am I going to share that with people? But really, death is rebirth. And so it's a whole new beginning. We're ushering in something new that then we have to, like you were saying, implement and embody, put in place, act upon. And so that's going to be quite the year. So that's the overview of what I've been working with and where I am now. So right now I'm just completely enmeshed in this womb energy, which is not usually something I do, but it's about the purification of our womb, our mother's womb, the divine mother's womb, the ancestral wounds, the Christ wounds of Christ consciousness, as we're moving into this December frequency of this wave of this energy of this avatar of light, which is not just something descending so much on the planet, but arising within us to be born. And so, yeah, it's pretty potent.
Amazing. And the overlaps are just like, wow.
Yeah, right. Of course, we're all getting the same thing into, like you say, that's my little ear or my tail.
Yeah, right, exactly. And what, as you're speaking, I was even feeling this shifting. I mean, these things, will shift inside of me where I go, how is that not obvious before? But, one thing that was just shifting in me just this second was this, we've been in such a paradigm, just even in terms of how you run a business, right? That like when you are running a business, which I mean, technically that's what we're both doing, you have the thing you're like, let's say the course you're offering, and that's your thing, and you're focused on bringing that into the world and having people find you who need that thing. And what I was just feeling is this complete shift of paradigm, even of um that's has a certain truth to it. Okay, but it's like my guys, the whole I could feel the whole spirit team just going, yeah, no, 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 do you get it? This is what the point here is. We are all here to be together, each in our own ways, everybody stepping into new earth, right? And so I can feel it, like what you're offering there fits so well with what I'm being told to the things I'm being told to hold. They're all different puzzle pieces, moving toward the exact same point, which is stepping into being new earth for me. When I'm getting told in 2026, we do it, with the Saturn Neptune conjunction coming February 20th, right? But December is a key moment where we make the choice to step in. So, um, yeah, I was just feeling, it's one of many, many components of this paradigm shift, but it's like even when we think of quote unquote, what is business? It's a really interesting, it's like instead of having my little silo over there and your little silo over there and so silo over there, no, 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 they're interlocking, co-creative, pieces of the same puzzle, basically, right? And certain people need this thing and not that thing. That's all perfect. But I feel energetically how it's all part of a whole.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
we're moving, yeah, out of that mechanistic way of being, of separation, the illusion of separation into oneness. So it has to carry over a-
Yeah,
into into our business, personal life, everything that we do, as that illusion falls away, and
right.
we
Beautiful.
recognize, yeah, we have to all be together. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so yeah, some of the other things I want to just say are, so I've had over the past, part of the reason I originally reached out to you is because over the past several months, I have had, I don't know how many, countless people write to me and say, I'm doing Kelly Kolodney's this thing. And what you just channeled is identical to whatever the blah, 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 blah that Kelly just did. Um, over and over and over and over again. So many people have been saying that to me. And one of the things that just jumped out at me as you're describing the various light codes, many things jumped out, but one of them was the white horse. The white horse has been coming up in my channelings lately so often, and very specifically as um let's see, I'm losing track. I hold so many things. Which one, where was it? At some point recently, several times there's been the white horse, well, the Pegasus and or unicorn is the way that my guides bring it in, who comes as a guide, like a very specific guide for each person. And then the channeling invites us to get onto the white horse or this Pegasus or this unicorn, who then flies up out of the time space continuum into the void, and then we're held in a circle in the void with, so each, human being with their own specific spirit guide, who could be a unicorn or a Pegasus, or for some people it's showing up as a dragon or a whatever, but I'm being guided to use the words, Pegasus or unicorn. And then so we form that circle, and then they invite the humans, us, to come into the center of the circle. And then it's like, so this, again, this is up in the void. uh and then all the horses or the unicorns, they bow their head, the guides, they bow their head toward the center, and we're in the center. And then this humongous orb of light like descends on the center of the circle. And then they, with their horns or with a wand or with their intention, whatever it is, they connect in with that light in the orb of the center of the circle over our bodies. And it's this powerful, essentially, it's like a ignition, like an initiation. They go boom, basically. And then, oh yes, right. And then they yeah, it's this initiation into the light codes, like it help. Oh, that's what it was. Sorry. When I channel, it's like not my brain thinking, so it's coming back to me as I'm talking. So, right. So what they were showing me in that and describing is that each of our each of our light code bodies have like these spindles. They're calling
Mm-hmm.
them spindle, but these like light rods that inherently, when we come into this lifetime, most humans have come into this lifetime kind of with the, like the if you think of like Tinker Toys, you know, like these little rods of light, um, they're all already there in each person, but for most people they've been lying dormant and just kind of waiting, kind of like logs in a forest or something, just lying on the ground. And then as these white horse beings hold the space and kind of do this initiation thing, that whole the light orb holds each of us to have the spindles of light that have been lying dormant our whole lives to suddenly pop up into the innate intended fullness of our light code body or structure. So then suddenly a person is ready to like actually be all of who they are on an
Mm.
energetic level.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, does that fit at all with anything that's come through with you about this?
Yeah, I mean, energetically, it's similar for sure, right? The Pegasus and the unicorns are these incredible celestial energies that can be that bridge between us and the galactic core. And we would ride them past the ring, past Knot, and connect with all the different star families from the Arcturians and the Pleiadians and the Andromedas, and
Wow.
uh, receive messages. And then Kalki would come riding on the horse, opening up the threshold, the golden gate to the new age, to the new yuga, right? To open the space. And similarly, the horse would bow down as he would get off. And when you think about, even Shiva coming in, like prior to that, his energy being blue, as he's really a galactic being. A lot of these gods and goddesses that we connect to through the different traditions are holding the seeds of those original galactic frequencies that are coming in, just like as we're connecting with Three Eye Atlas.
Yeah.
That we can't do it without our star sisters and family and brothers, and
Yeah.
whether that be the planets that carry their own consciousness and are sharing with us whatever they're sharing, or it be Three Eye Atlas, or it be the star being, whatever form it comes in. That's the delivery system in our remembering, right? In our aligning and awakening back up. Yeah, so
Exactly.
that's a very important piece. We need
Yes.
that piece, all the
Yes.
pieces. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Um, right. And then it's so many things, where to even start. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Another. Yeah, sorry, go, did you want to?
Oh, so I was just going to say, I think it's just so important for people in this moment, in October, as Three Eye Atlas is going behind the sun. And we saw as it passed by Mars, right? I don't know if in that interview where I was channeling Three Eye Atlas and was talking about bringing peace to the planet. And it was interesting how it lined up with, we'll see if it holds, but the peace agreement in Israel and Gaza was right at that exact time. Um,
Mm,
and so it has a specific function, it's really teaching us and showing us things as it's going. And as it goes behind the sun, we can't see it. It's in the dark. It's away from us. So that's a very important time right now for us to be in that darkness, in that womb space, in that emptiness, and whatever that means for anybody. It could just mean they're taking more things off their to-do list, or they're spending literally more time in the dark, or
mm,
they're turning off their phone way earlier in the evening and not turning it on for like going off, we go on intermittent fasting, go intermittent technology fasting, like really removing as much as we can during this time between now and when it comes back out, it'll hit, I guess, closest to the sun on the 29th, and as it's coming toward us on the 19th, is this time that we really need for spaciousness, for emptiness, for quiet, for stillness, for breath, all the things, for being in nature and making a conscious effort to empty, because as it comes as a delivery system and as we're receiving this wave of love that so many of us are feeling and know is arriving in December, if we are this full and we're doing what we usually do, which is probably running around or shopping for Christmas or our busy mind or whatever, right? We're not going to be able to receive the downloads, the codes, the energies that we need in order to absorb them, in order to fully integrate them, because there will be no space. And that's why the womb code right now is they're guiding us there. And that doesn't mean, people have to take my womb code. They can do anything that just places them in that empty space, whatever that looks like for them.
mm.
Right. And that's why I went into the 3 days of darkness and they guided me there and it aligned. It just on my schedule just happened to an opening show up. So whatever anybody can do right now, I think it's really important to get that message out to your community is to prioritize spaciousness, quiet, stillness, presence, and really let go, and eliminate as much as what we think is important that's not important as possible. Because as we do move into 2026 and we move into that, pass through that birth canal into the rebirth, we are going to be busy and there is going to be a lot to implement. But if we don't receive the codes, if we're not open during this time of incubate that's so important right now to receive, then we're not going to be able to take the steps we need as we make that threshold at the winter solstice. We're going to be not that anyone ever misses out on anything. It's always divinely perfect, but it clearly would be helpful. Yeah.
And yes, and then two things. I think it's so amazing, fascinating. You and I are sitting here recording this the day before the new moon, when Three Eye Atlas will be in its superior conjunction with the sun. That's like beautiful. And I was telling you before we started recording, the the main kind of theme that my guides have been saying to me over and over and over again the last 4 or 5 days, which feels very related to the womb codes that are coming through for you or about to come through for you. Um, they have been taking me into the void. I mean, that's typical for them that they do that almost every morning. But when I go into the void, they're very specific. Like like for a few days, they'll have a theme, right? Typically. So the theme right now has been, and this morning again was they're showing me uh the 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 components of light, like actual light. And they're taking me kind of nanoparticle level with what light is. And they're saying, you are, meaning me, but like meaning us, you are a keeper of the original codes of what light actually is. So, and it's the sense of the codes of light, before whatever the beginning of creation was, if that was a big bang, or like Jude Curvin says, a big breath, or whatever it was, whatever it is, because there is no time and there is no space. It's the pre-creation codes
Mm-hmm.
of light. And what it feels like in my body when they show that to me is a similar thing to what you're describing. It's this need in my body to completely let go, completely empty out anything other than that, those original codes of what light is.
Mm.
Um, so it feels similar.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, it's just a different way of seeing it, but it's the same thing. So those sparks, that original light, we can't see it because it's cloaked in the illusion, right? It's veiled from us in in our busy mind, in the projections of all of our collaborative, collective constructs and agreements as we come into this world. And as those are systematically collapsing, and dissolving externally, they have to dissolve internally. So, whatever we can do to heal those wounds, to move into spaciousness, to bring them to presence, the more we're going to be able to reach those sparks you're speaking of, right? That original light that is wanting to birth itself, wanting to come into our awareness in a way where we can really see it in our projected reality. So it's the same thing, and we're all being called to do it, and it's not easy because I know for me, it's like, oh, I have this and this and this, and then it's just like, no, stop, go take a bike ride, sit outside and look at the trees. A couple days ago, I was called in the morning to get up and go somewhere, actually to church. I haven't done that in years and years and years, right? I'm not, but I was invited because I wanted to see this place called Czestochowa near where I live. They have a painting of the Black Madonna. And so I went in, I was walking around, I wanted to connect with her beautiful frequency with the womb of creation. And and then everything started and unfolded in this space. And I think their mass was in Polish or whatever. And I hadn't been to mass since I was a kid. But anyway, I stayed and took in that frequency. And then when I was done, I went outside and the trees were like so alive. And I probably spent 2.5, 3 hours just being with the trees and the sweetness, and they were so incredible. And there were 12 of them lined up, and I was like, oh, of course there's 12 in a row, right? That's that Christ consciousness. And I went and I blessed everyone and talked to them. When I got to the 12th, I turned, there was this gorgeous 13th tree that was hidden. And I was like, oh, how symbolic of the divine feminine, been so hidden from us and has to be seen now, has to be recognized, has to rise so that we can move into the emptiness, so that the illusions can disappear, so that we can give rise and birth to this new consciousness. And it was the contrast of the constructs in the building that was had so much potent energy, the church. It was quite beautiful, right? The frequency. But it also had so much dogma, it had so many rules, it had so many constructs that were overlaying, overlaying, overlaying the purity. Like I couldn't get to the seed point. But as soon as I went outside, the seed point was right there, right? It was just like boom. And it's metaphorically, that's kind of what we're experiencing. It's like, can we release the dogma or the constructs or the belief systems, whether they're religious or they're educational or they're financial or whatever they are, and get to the seed point? But we can't get to the seed point if our mind is just into so focused on the rules and the beliefs. And so that's why we're being asked to go into the darkness now, because it's only when we have to face the emptiness that that light, which is the spark of creation that you're speaking of, can be seen. Otherwise, there's just light everywhere, because light really is the expression of the solar, and it's active. and it's so almost overexposed. And even in our technology, we're exposed to so much light that we can't find the purity of the original light. We're only looking at the illusion of the light.
Mm.
Yeah.
And again, as you're describing this, it's like I okay, so I'm feeling an activation happening in my own body in my literal womb right now, right this minute, as we're having this conversation, which is very interesting. Um, and so I'm feeling in my body how, like I um am an anchor of this light. Okay. So I play a particular role, but I'm naming this because I think this is relevant for all of us, right? And this is part of, I think, how we're being guided to move into this way of our next stage of being. It's like, so I'm feeling here, yeah, I do play an energetic role. I am an anchor of this. I mean, everything I do is called living the one light. Okay. So clearly I play some kind of role here.
Yeah.
And yet what I'm also feeling, this womb code thing that you're going to be doing, like the energetic of it feels like it's right here, right next to me, but it's not my role, right? It's like I'm not being called to hold something specifically for the darkness, for this everything you're describing. It it's like your component is sitting right next to mine, but it's very distinct and it's you, right? And I can feel how people who maybe are guided to me would just sort of funnel into this womb space with you, get what they need there, and then come out and then I don't know what next. But it's like there's something really shifting in my own way has been very much about so astrologically I have my south node in Aries, my Venus in Aries. I'm very much been used to like doing everything by myself. It's probably that's not true for everybody, but I think in a lot of ways we have been trained to be so individualistic in a sense, right? And now it's like, oh wow, no, 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 no more. We're not doing this by ourselves. It's not like I
No,
need to
yeah.
come and like, recreate every single wheel out there. No, 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 no. It's, we each have a particular role, and then it's so relieving. It's like, oh my goodness. Right. There's such beautiful, this web that's weaving itself is like we each are taking a part of the puzzle, and then we can let go, right? We can, because we're held in a much bigger picture. Like,
Yeah. Well,
ah,
we're moving from that mechanistic way of being to a holistic, and that's going to show up in our way of collaboration and community as well, right? It has to. And so when we move out of the individual into unified consciousness or oneness consciousness, how can we not but help but to bring the web of pieces together and collaborate, not in our silos, but as a unified field of light being of service to bring different pieces that we all hold, which are different, right? But are moving in the same direction of service to the planet.
yeah.
And yeah, that will be what 2026 I think will really look like. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what I would love to switch to now, if that's okay. So again, I think there are just these fascinating overlaps between how it seems like you're being guided and I'm being guided regarding December, regarding solstice, regarding 2026. So on my end, I was told two things. One, very, very, very clearly, my guide said, hold a free event in December, and they showed me this very specific people. It was meant to be you and David Clements and John Ryan, and then there was a fifth person. And I was on a call with Julia Balaz, and I mentioned it, and I went, "It's you." She said, "Yes and no, it is." So anyway, it's the five of us. I mean, very specifically, um, and and it's like it creates a very specific sacred geometry, and I don't quite know what that's about, but so we're holding that on December 5th, which turns out is the day after, just a few hours, like 12 hours after a full moon at 13 degrees of Gemini, which happens to be the halfway point, the exact precise halfway point between the lunar eclipse we just had in um, September and then the one we're having on March 3rd, 2026. Okay, fascinating. And then I just a week, last few days was told again so adamantly by my guides, you need to hold an event on December 19th. Very specific, very precise. It has to be December 19th. And the purpose of that gathering is going to be for me to channel and help people to find that inner spark in them, and really to be guided in their own being by their spirit team, by their soul. What is theirs to do? What is mine to do for each person stepping into 2026 to be new Earth?
Mm.
So, and they're very specific that we have been in a time where this whole concept of new Earth has been very kind of ethereal, like conceptual, a wish, a dream, someday we'll create new Earth or it will happen to us or something. And they're saying now, all of a sudden, they're saying, no, it is very specifically December when we're asking you, we're actually almost begging you, please, this is very important. You need to each choose to step in concretely. And there's a threshold between like December 19th and 2026. January is like I feel it like an energetic, literally, you step over this threshold, but starting on that December 19th time, and you step straight into us actually being new Earth. Like that is when we are it. Uh, and then later that same day, I turned on the most recent video by Heather Ensworth, where she's talking about, oh, December 19th is it's the day when Three Eye Atlas is going to be in its closest path to the Earth. And I went, oh my goodness. And then I looked at the astrology of it. That's also the day of the new moon at 28 degrees of Sagittarius, which is conjunct the galactic center. And I was talking to Heather this weekend about this, and I went, you know what else dawned on me? Um, that new moon is the precise, it exactly squares the new moon we had at the solar eclipse, that we just had on September 21st, which was at 29 degrees of Virgo, Earth.
Mhm.
It's exactly squaring that, and it's 2 degrees, so it's an out of sign square, but it's basically exactly also squaring the Saturn Neptune conjunction, which is happening on February 20th, 2026. So it's amazing astrologically, and in terms of the sacred geometry of how these dates are lining up. What is
Yeah,
going on?
flowing. So tell us about February. What will be happening then from an astrological standpoint around the 20th with the conjunction?
Yeah, so the 20th, okay, February is amazing. So first we have um the end of, okay, yeah, so we have mm, in the beginning of 2026, both Saturn and Neptune are going to they're going retrograde back into Pisces now, then they're going to be going and re-entering Aries. They will come together on February 20th, but actually on February 17th, so 3 days before the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, also is um, a solar eclipse at, I want to say 29 degrees of Aquarius, which is also Chinese New Year. And that solar eclipse is precisely opposite the new moon at 0 degrees of Virgo that we had just before the eclipses we just had. So that 0 degree Virgo new moon on August 22nd, 2025, I was calling it kind of an almost eclipse because it's the new moon was quite close to the nodes, but it didn't fully qualify as an eclipse. But it definitely entered us into this eclipse season we just had. So February 17th, 2026, um, is going to be a new moon at the end of Aquarius. It's the Chinese New Year, and it's a solar eclipse, and it's opposing that 0 degree Virgo eclipse. I mean, almost eclipse. Um,
What does it mean energetically then? Like for,
yeah, what it feels like is I'm just trying to feel into it. It's like what it feels like honestly is beyond my human mind. It's like I can see the geometry of it and how it's all precisely lining up with each other. So it's like creating these spokes or something, spokes of a wheel, and then it's like there's just this very precise choreography going on. I don't know how
like,
to put it.
yeah, beautiful dance. I mean, I know I've heard so many astrologers mention it, but I didn't know what it means for us, but I'm sure it will reveal itself. There's so much happening astrologically right now. It's just mind-blowing, right?
Right.
Incredible. And then tomorrow you were saying Three-Eye Atlas, it's not, it gets closest to the sun on the 29th, but what is happening with it tomorrow exactly? What does that mean?
Yeah. So tomorrow is the new moon at 28 degrees of Libra, and and tomorrow is the superior conjunction of Three-Eye Atlas with the sun. So what that means is that you know, Three-Eye Atlas is going to make its perihelion with the sun next week. So that's what you're talking about on the 29th. That means that's the time the perihelion is when Three-Eye Atlas will get the closest it will get to the sun in its humongous travels through wherever it goes. Right?
Amazing, right? It's billions of years old
Yeah,
and it,
exactly. Super amazing. Um, but just a few days before that happens, from the perspective of Earth, for us, Three-Eye Atlas will be opposite the sun from us. And
oh, okay.
yeah, and that happens to be happening at a new moon, which
Incredible.
yeah, it's really incredible because energetically what that means is it's Earth, the moon, the sun, and Three-Eye Atlas all in a line.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who
Like,
knows what's going to be feeling like tomorrow? My goodness. What an incredible an alignment. So,
right.
yeah. Wow. The Earth, the new moon, the sun, and Three-Eye Atlas.
Yeah. Right. So it's like some kind of activation. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
But just to finish up with the 2026 early 2026 transits that I was describing, right? It's like my human brain, I don't even want to attempt to analyze it. I think it's an energy activation that I think is way beyond at least my human mind, what I can possibly conceive of. And so it's more like I'm noticing, oh, here are how the dominoes are lining themselves up. And it's like,
Mhm.
wow. Like,
Right.
okay.
You have something to show us. Yeah. That's
Right. But I think what's probably more important to me is how it's feeling to us, right? And so I think even for people who are like, wait, what are you talking about? I cannot follow what were all those words you just said? I would say, don't worry about it. Just let go of the words. Um, it's more like what I'm feeling is, or what I'm being told by my guides is December is so key for various reasons, and it's really an energetic at that time of that December 19th and the December solstice of a stepping in, we're doing it. And then
yeah.
the energy of early 2026 is absolutely, I mean, astrologically, just the Saturn Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries is it, if you're going to interpret that at all, it's absolutely stepping into creating the structures of the divine for the beginning, whatever that means. So,
Yeah.
but it feels like the energy of that has already started now.
It has started now. I was just seeing if I could pull up the, yeah, here it is. It popped up for me. It's the death card.
Oh,
Which people don't like the death card, right? But it's the death light code, and it says death reset your timeline. And that's what we're doing in January 2026. And so here, kind of like the vultures are coming in and they're eating away at the old, and the Mayan calendar is shifting. We're literally opening an entirely new timeline, and the spine is there because it's giving rise to that new human, right? The new human is coming online. And so we've been talking about that, but it's like literally coming online, and everything that we're receiving from the delivery system coming in from 3i Atlas on a biological level that's going to help our evolutionary process. And at the winter solstice, what they're showing me are these 9 powerful, potent, we could say almost gifts or energies or frequencies that we've been just sort of playing with or able to kind of tap into or feeling that are really going to be reset in our systems. And if we can receive them and step into them, like you were saying earlier, it won't just be this thing that we talk about. We'll be really experiencing it. So many people will be having profound experiences, Kundalini awakenings, pineal gland openings, visions, telepathic communication, the capacity to manifest through instant thought processes, miraculous healing, even bilocation, teleportation, things that seem so woo-woo will start really happening. And for me, when I was in the dark, and I didn't stay in the dark long enough to have what would technically be called like a hallucination, but I had these experiences where the fabric of reality and the blackness would open up into a space, into a new place, into a new room. And so I was just playing. It was like I wasn't even playing, it was happening to me and with me. But because I had never done it before and I didn't know how to do it, and I wasn't doing it with intention, it was bringing me all kinds of places, right? Random along the timelines and different dimensions. But once we start to realize that we have the capacity to that, it opens up a whole new way of being. So we are able then, through conscious intention and practice, to step past over timelines into new realities, into creation, simply by our word and thought in a much faster way. Visions coming in for everyone really strongly, and all of our inherent innate gifts of the garment of light of who we are totally coming back online, the whole timeline being set. But it is this choice that we had, right? The spring equinox, the organic timeline, the artificial timeline. And we'll also be able to experience all those things in an artificial way, you know? And so that will be interesting if the biology and our innate intelligence, the source creation energy through the upgrade will be moving at the same pace as the artificial one, and will it, and Raphael says it will surpass it eventually if we can place our attention and energy there. It will move us so rapidly in these new ways of being. And maybe there'll be parallel timelines happening simultaneously that are kind of doing the same thing, but using different mechanisms. And who knows, eventually, I mean, it all leads back to the same. And we like to label one as good and one as not good. And Raphael talks the importance of not interfacing with the synthetic technology, but that will also be a mirror to the capabilities that we have biologically that are coming online, right? It's going to show it to us in rapid speed of what can be created in the instance of a thought
Mm,
of stepping into new realms. It's going to move fast,
yeah.
our new world. It's going to move really fast in the new year.
Yeah.
That's
And
why
I'm
the incubation period is so important right now.
beautiful. I was just, again, my instinct is going there too. This whole conversation, I'm feeling an instinct to drop into a particular thing, and then you say that thing. So it's cool. Yeah. But yes, exactly. So I was just feeling, okay, so when things move so quickly, right? My background is, I don't know if you know this about me, but I used to be a psychotherapist and I specialized in trauma treatment and that kind of thing. So of course a part of me goes, "Eh," I don't want it to be too fast for people, especially people who have kind of unintegrated trauma going on in their bodies. And so, right, that's what I was feeling is I'm wondering, yeah, just what you feel is important to support us as we're moving into this, stepping over this threshold, and these things are coming back online. I mean, certainly in my community, hear this kind of thing all the time, all the time, all the time. And I have a guess it'll just get more and more and more and more um, quick for people. And, I know from experience of observing certain people, sometimes when that happens, it can be not great. It can throw people into psychosis. It can throw people into it if it's not handled really carefully and really well. um yeah, it can be uncomfortable on various levels. So I'm just wondering, what if do you have any thoughts that you want to share about, yeah, how you're being guided to support people in
You mean in
yeah.
terms of the gifts coming online being overwhelming for people? Is that what you're
Yes,
how,
yes,
how
yes,
for them
yeah,
to handle it?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I'm gonna sneeze.
It's okay.
Excuse me. I think that's where, community is so important in these times to be in whatever community they're in, especially with like-minded people who are going through these experiences to support one another. But beyond that, that's why this period is so important to empty everything because it's like a surge of energy. It's like plugging a circuit, it's plugging something into a circuit and it's short circuiting, right? Too much light. There's
Yes.
so much coming in that can be overstimulating for people and they are on overwhelm. They can't even deal with going to the store or seeing people like they're completely like, ah.
Yeah.
And that's why we have to empty out.
Beautiful. And so that's that's making me think of another major transit coming in 2026, which is the other, I would say for me, the two biggest transits in 2026 are number one, I'm getting balloons.
Really funny.
Okay. Someone liked this. I don't know. Um, February 20th, the Saturn Neptune conjunction, gigantic, absolutely massive. The other one I would say is woo, like really, really big, is I think it's June 12th, June 19th, somewhere in there, mid-June 2026. Uranus is going to be exactly squaring the nodes of the moon. So Uranus will be at 2 degrees of Gemini, squaring the nodes of the moon when they're at 2 degrees of Pisces and Virgo. And what you're describing, that us getting plugged into a socket, to me that's absolutely Uranian energy. So and what's also really interesting is that we already have had Uranus um at that kind of 2 degree point this year, and now it's going retrograde. It's going to re-enter Taurus. No, sorry, my God, where is it? It's what, yeah. Anyway, it's going back into Taurus, and then it'll be re-entering Gemini in 2026, um and then we're going to have that exact square in June. But we've already gotten a taste of what, so wherever Uranus at around 2 degrees of Gemini sits in any particular person's chart, you've already gotten a taste of that. And so we've already gotten this probably like a preview of what that energy is going to be feeling like in 2026. And but then in June, in that time, that kind of mid-year time, when
Mhm.
the nodes actually square Uranus, I can't know what that is, but I wouldn't be surprised if another part of the wave coming of 2026, beyond what we're even describing here, is going to be an even more powerful sense of being plugged in, like literally plugged into the light of the divine.
Well, that's interesting because if it's around June 19th, it would be similar to the fact that Three Eye Atlas is coming on December 19th, which is the winter solstice, and then we have the
Summer
summer
solstice.
solstice on the
I didn't even
21st.
thought about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And then, of course, it would be light, so much light at the summer
In the
solstice.
northern hemisphere, right?
Yeah. So it would be mirroring another wave like this of the wave that we're feeling now. Another one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and I can't tap in yet, or I'm not being shown yet anything beyond kind of February, maybe a little bit into March, but
Mhm.
because it feels like, at least for me, like they're like, no, just focus on now. Don't worry about that yet. Um,
Right. Yeah,
but
one thing at a time. Got a
yeah,
lot.
yeah,
Sweet.
wow,
So nice. Well, this was so great.
yeah. Thank you so much. Um, Beautiful. Is there any other last thing that feels like needs to be said?
No, just reminding people to just, take a nice deep breath and surrender. It's going to be okay, and to trust in the process. I know everybody gets panicked because external things going on are a lot for people, and I just want to really encourage them. I'm not talking about spiritual bypassing or putting your head in the sand, but just giving us some time right now off from all of it, and and feeling a sense of permission that it's okay to disengage for a period of time. Doesn't mean it has to be forever, but right now in this space that we're in, as light workers, and all the energy coming and what we're birthing at the winter solstice, that it's okay to just take a step back and feel into what we need to, and so that we can receive the codes. Because in some ways, it's a responsibility almost. It's almost a responsibility to do nothing right now, to empty out, so that we can be those that enough of us energetically are able to receive what needs to be received, so that it then can be delivered um, around the planet as we emanate that light. And so sometimes it feels selfish to disengage from the drama going on, but in many ways, it's the way that we can serve the most. And it's easy to forget that. Yeah.
Definitely. Absolutely. Yes, I second that. And I heard someone the other day said this sentence I just want to say for everybody because it was so helpful to me and yeah, it feels relevant. She said, connect in with the part of you that knows everything is okay.
Yeah.
I went, yes.
Exactly, right? In this now moment, right here, right now, everything is okay. And we're
Yeah.
just being bathed in a sea of love, but we're only looking at the specks of our own wounds. So if we can open up to more spaciousness, yeah, it's always been right there.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Kelly.
You,
Um,
and I'll see you on December 5th. I'm excited to be with Julie and Dr. Clemens and your other guests. And yeah,
yeah. John Ryan, you are going to love John. You and John, yeah. Well, anyway, you need to know each other and you are going to know each other. And yeah,
perfect. That's wonderful.
yeah,
Collaboration. Yeah.
the soul family, soul tribe, definitely uniting. Along with everybody watching. Yes. So, so with your womb code, tell us again, it's starting on October
It
20.
starts on Monday, October 27th, and it will be 9 transmissions with me and 3 integration sessions. So it's about 12 hours of transmissions, and there's replays, and if people feel called to it, beautiful, and if not, beautiful.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. And it sounds absolutely perfect. I mean, true, I can feel the energy of it just dropping right in to my
Mm,
own system. Like, wow.
yeah.
So,
Well, we all could use some nurturing, quiet time right now. Yeah. So,
yeah,
yeah.
wonderful. So I'll put the link for that here and the link for the December 5th event and yay.
Yay. All
Yay.
right.
Thank
Thanks.
you all for being part of this. Truly, we're all doing this all together. So wonderful. See
Okay.
you all
Bye,
soon.
everybody. Love, love.